Hi, it's Stacey. How are you? Happy Sunday. Wonderful to see you today. Back on my regular schedule. Anyway, let me get started and say thank you to those of you that commented on my last couple blogs, which was Relationship 103, the book and the cover, and the gift of life about my Aunt Alma. Nicola, Coffee Cafe, Shelly, AJ, Zahn, Queen I Am, Cool 5, the Man of Iron, Roger, Black Angel without wings, Baldwin, also my condolences, Baldwin. He lost his grandfather last week. Harvey, Nikki, Alma D. Acero, Arvel, my cousin, My Love Child, Chicky, and Global Grind. For any of you, if you get a chance, I don't know how many of you actually read all the comments, but Arvel is my cousin and also Aunt Alma's grandson. So he left a really nice comment, sort of explaining their relationship a little more intense, my aunt and her husband, my uncle, who passed a few years back. But anyway, getting started. Thank you to all my friends on MySpace, YouTube, and Soulfare.com. Okay, so getting started. Anyway, today, we are talking about relationship. First of all, relationship 201, and it is, that would be words and action. Most of us, if not in a relationship, want to be in a relationship. But regardless, we have relationships in our life. And the biggest problem I've found in any of these relationships, be it your love interest or your parents or your brothers, your friends, is communication. We don't say what we want, we don't say what we need, and we don't always listen to what's said to us. So, with that said, if you have a life you desire, if you have something that you desire, as they say, closed mouths don't get fed. So, if they don't, then why is it that we don't communicate with each other? Why don't we talk? We're so afraid of being vulnerable or being made fun of. We fear the reaction. The reality is that, so what? And you can't worry about your feelings at that level. You can't learn, you can't grow if you don't make mistakes. You have to learn at some place, but you also can't get what you want if you don't open your mouth. So, if you're not in a relationship and you want to be, then you have to be clear, as the last few blogs, which was about knowing who you are and knowing what you want and knowing what you're attracted to, okay, knowing your likes and dislikes. But beyond that, you have to know, you have to be able to articulate what it is that you desire. You have to be able to say, I like this or I don't like that. And you can't really have a relationship if you won't spend time with someone and if you won't communicate with them. How do you know you want to be with them or don't want to be with them if you don't talk to them? I'm the queen of saying it only takes 5 minutes, but in 5 minutes, so much can be said if you are paying attention, if you are listening. I received an email from one of the readers who mentioned that their relationship had fallen apart and they didn't know why. And so I said, nothing ever just happens all of a sudden, which it doesn't, not really. And my biggest question was, there had to have been signs if you think back. And their reaction was later, you're right. Things were said, I didn't take them seriously. So someone was communicating, but the other person wasn't listening. So the reality is that you can't not listen, because we do say what we need. So if you're going to be in a relationship, you have to communicate what you need, but you have to be able to listen to someone else's needs. You have to be able to be with someone beyond the bed. Do you know? A lot of us get very caught up in our physical looks and our physical relationships, but we forget that without the other part, the communication, you don't really have any substance, you have no foundation, and you have nothing to grow upon or to stick with. Because once the other's gone, you hope to have something else. If all you want is a physical relationship, then that's cool too. But you got to communicate. Every relationship, no matter with whom, starts with communication. You can't get ahead in life, you can't have a job, you can't do anything in your life without talking to someone or listening to. You can't move ahead if you don't take risk. If you see someone of interest, how are you going to establish a relationship if you don't make contact, if you don't say something, if there is no action? There's nothing worse than watching two people in a room and you can tell they're feeling each other and they won't say anything. That is like the most frustrating thing. Or two people in a relationship that are unhappy and they don't know how to fix it. Talk. If two people can tell each other what they want and need, then they can move forward into having a much more fulfilling relationship. The biggest reason relationships fail is because there was either no communication in the beginning or people stopped communicating in the middle. But that's always the biggest thing, because somebody didn't want to say something that they were afraid to say, or that someone didn't hear something, or someone didn't do something. Because our actions are just as important, because your actions have to go with your words. You can't say I love you and then go beat your wife. You can't say I'll be here forever, but you don't come home at night. I mean, there's kind of a, our words and our actions. I love you, I'll never cheat on you, but I'm just not going to be home for a week. It doesn't quite work like that. So it is about our words and our actions going along with each other, but it's about being vulnerable. Relationships are about being vulnerable. You should always be okay, be accepting of yourself, and be okay with showing yourself. Because it goes back to the last 3 blogs, which is about being yourself, showing yourself, knowing who you are, and being okay with all of that. And knowing what you want. So if you know those 3 things, then you can articulate them in any situation in your life. And that is what makes great relationships. Being able to say the things that you need to say, but more so, being able to hear the things that you need to hear. Anyway, so tell me this. Are you expressing yourself in your world? Are you able to tell people what you want? Are you communicating in your relationships? Ponder that. This is Stacye. I hope that you have an amazing week. I will see you soon. Love to hear what you have to say. I think there was something else I was going to tell you guys. Of course, our prayers are out to the families of Bernie Mac, who's a wonderful man, and Isaac K is also a very talented man. And my deepest sympathies to their families and their loss. And but we are all very grateful and honored that at least I am, that they shared their gifts with the world, and that I was able to partake. Anyway, have an amazing, amazing week. I will see you soon. Love and blessings. Bye. I like this.